everybody, welcome to my Sophie kitchen. Today we are making some lotion and actually a skin cream. I'm working on my assessment for the last third of my studies. I have been working so hard, guys. I am just telling you, I have been having so much fun, but it is slow and tedious, just like real school, because guess what? It's real school and it's definitely chemistry. All right, so today we're going to be preparing a skin cream, and it's just basic ingredients. So you've seen me formulate with my multi-base. Now that is a known formula. That's one that I can always count on to make things perfect. This is something also fairly standard, a basic cream. But let me show you how stable, this is a really good example, that multi-base can be when you stick to the parameters of which it is designed. So this is a lotion I made almost, oh golly, 10 years ago, and it still smells and feels beautiful. It has vanilla in it. In fact, it's made with vanilla, and that's why it's that kind of pinky brown color, but it is absolutely incredible. So if you're not ready to go to this step like we have today, you can stick with those multi-base and you will have really good success. I guarantee it. Just stick to the parameters that the manufacturer gives you. Working with a base, that's a good thing. Don't ever discount it. But today I'm going to be working from scratch, and I'm going to show you how to make a basic skin cream. So the ingredients we're going to use is water, glycerin, xanthan gum, macadamia oil, caprylic triglycerides, cetearyl alcohol, cetera 20, stearic acid, jojoba. Actually, no, we're going to use avocado oil. I decided to use avocado. I needed a medium skin feel oil, beeswax, and then a mixed tocopherol. And then the preservative I'm going to be using is one called Plantiserve. Okay, so those are the things that my practical activity pack came with, and those are the things I'm going to be formulating with you today. So let's start with phase A. Now phase A is our water phase. Now the water phase is where I like to play because I make so many wonderful hydrosols. But today I am going to just work with the water. So we've got some purified water here, and we're going to measure out the main portion of our liquids. So we need approximately 80 grams. Kind of gives you an idea of how much a cream has in hydration. It has a lot, not a little, a lot. I've got a little too much here. Anywhere from 80 to 90% water, which is why they're so hydrating on the skin, and that's why we make them, because we need to add water. Now when you're working with 100-gram samples, you need to be very exacting. All right, so the next item that I need is glycerin, which is a humectant. So just a basic humectant we've got here, plain old USP glycerin. Glycerin is generally used between 3 and 5%. I like to use it. And I've sealed this one up because I had it when I was traveling. You wouldn't believe how sticky glycerin can be. Now, if you're making a cream and your humectant is too high, and by the humectants, things like honey and glycerin, which are natural humectants, you're going to find they'll leave your product itself a little tacky, a little sticky, just like if you use too much gum or polymer. I'm gonna have to stab that, sorry. I used tape on there. I'll make it easier for me to measure it. Now, if you want more humectant than the limitations of glycerin lend, you can also use other humectants. Hyaluronic acid is a humectant that's not sticky. It also tends to thicken your formulation. Propylene glycol, also very light on the skin. So we're just going to add this to our phase A here, and I like to get every little bit. So I'm just going to make sure all of those beautiful humectants end up in my formulation and not on my measuring dish. And there we go. One more. And that's pretty good. I think we got most of it. I'll let a little bit of it do that. I'm just going to give it a little stir. Now, emulsifiers are surfactants. For those of you who don't, they're not bubbling surfactants, but they will sometimes leave white rubbin, which are micro bubbles. So when you use too much emulsifier, or not a lot and not enough non-ionic emulsifiers, you'll get quite a lot of white rubbin time. A lot of the natural emulsifiers like Olive M100, I've had problems with that one, but there are ways to modify it so that it doesn't have that rub-in time, and the non-ionics are really good for that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to measure out the next phase, which is our phase B, which is our oil phase. Now, the oil phase is made up of lipids, and we're going to be using some vegetable lipids, so we're going to need a good tocopherol as well at the end, because they tend to oxidize over time. And we're going to use a small input. Actually, it's a pretty good input of the macadamia. 5% is fairly high. Now we're making a rich cream. Now remember, whatever vessel you're using, whatever measurement device you're using, use it for all of your measurements. You're going to have probably some differences in how well it is actually measured, so you get a correct amount. Okay, so here we're going to go with another equal amount approximately. So we got these light spreading capric triglycerides. And now we've got some more waxy ingredients that we're adding. This is cetearyl alcohol, cetera 20, and it's awesome stuff. We're going to use lots of that as well. We're going to use about 4%. Now, the amount you use is calculated according to what you want your final viscosity and skin feel to be. There we go. Cetearyl alcohol, cetera 20. Now we've got an anionic emulsifier, stearic acid, very basic. Oop. love this stuff. It's great for candles. Now we're actually going to use less steric than we would our non-ionic, because ionic anionics tend to be stronger and a little bit irritating. But they do the best job, and they are absolutely essential. All right, so our next ingredient is our next oil. So we're going to use a little bit of avocado oil. Now this is a medium spreading oil, and we're just going to use a little bit, just a couple percentage points. All right, now as a consistency factor and also to add a little emollients, we're going to be using some natural beeswax. Because we want this to be a rich, rich night cream. Now this is not my recipe, so I can't really share it with you exactly, but it gives you an idea of the type of ingredients that we use to make something like a rich, rich night cream. I'll be making many of these with my own blend of favorite consistency factors and emulsifiers. But you know how much I love beeswax, so I'm often reluctant to use beeswax. It's very, has a very tacky skin feel, so I prefer other waxes, but in my lotions, but it's essential into all of my soaps. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to heat these two to approximately 45°C, and we'll see, I'll meet you back here when they're all melted, and we're going to mix them together. Now today I'm using a grade of xanthan gum that can go directly into water. I love this stuff. And we're going to be using just a wee bit of it to give our cream some stability and viscosity that gums provide. Just a wee bit more. You don't need a lot of it. A little bit there. Now with tiny, tiny trace amounts, I always use my tiny scale. It's just a little more. On a bigger scale though, definitely use the same scale, like I just got through telling you. All right, so I'm just going to show you how easily this one dissolves. See? No problemo. Isn't that fun? And you can use it in hot or cold water, which is even better. See that slight thickening we're getting there? That's going to provide a matrix of stability for our cream, so it doesn't come out of suspension quite so easily. Alright, so I'm going to add B, which is a little bit hot to the touch, to phase A. And we're going to mix it gently. Whoop. I don't want to get too many bubbles, so just a plain whisk for this. We're going to mix it until it's nice and glossy, and evaluate it the next day. Getting nice and thick. I need to mix it till it's below. Let me just check my formula. Okay, we got it up to about 70. Oh, so we need to get it down to approximately 35 degrees. So we'll just keep checking this. Alright, now it cools down pretty quick. I'm going to add a little bit of this to our tocopherol. And then we'll add our Plantiserve. Oops. Give it a good mix. And we'll evaluate this the next day. So I'm just going to cover this up. I have these lovely little covers. That's why I like these so much. Just wipe it off a little. Let this cool, and then I'll cover it overnight, and then I'll bring y'all back. And that's basically it. This is your nice thick cream, and in the morning when it's cool and it's had a chance to settle, it'll be nice and thick. So if you have any questions about making creams, feel free to add a note in the comments. If you want to know about any of the ingredients that we're using, just also let me know. Now make sure you're using tocopherols and not vitamin E topical, which is for like eating. It's the wrong acetate. Acetate is not the right one for preserving your system. It's great for the skin, but it's not going to do anything for your oils that you put into your formulation. If you enjoyed this, please click like and subscribe and come on back, because we're going to have lots more going on. I'm going to be doing some special things for Valentine's Day, and I hope you enjoyed that. So here you have seen how to make a basic cream from scratch. Bye for now. Click like and subscribe, and please come back. Bye.